Hey YouTube, how's it going? Hope everybody's having a good day. Hey, today I'm gonna make a little small video. Um, it might not be long. It depends. But anyway, the subject matter that I'm gonna talk about today is my own personal experience. It's my own opinion, and it's not the way everybody think, and I respect that. And everybody don't have to agree with my way of thinking or my opinion. It's okay. And that's, in my opinion, that's what makes our country great. Everybody have their own opinions, their own way of thinking, and it's okay. So with all of that being said, I want to first thank you guys for checking out my channel. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a couple of weeks since I've uploaded my last video. But anyway, I want to talk about the current situation of our country and the way things are going. But to give you a background, the way I grew up and the way I think and how I approach things, I grew up with a dad who, we're in Detroit area. And my dad growing up, he always listened to AM 950, which is an all news station here in the Detroit area. And so he always kept up with the current events and what's going on, and he kept up with with things going on in the country. And so I grew up listening to this, riding with my dad, going here and there and listening to this. So, this is what I become accustomed to. This is what I was used to. So I became the same way. When I grew up, that's what I did. I listen to music too, but I listen to a lot of news. And I guess in today's terms, people would coin that as news junkie or political junkie or whatever. But that's how I grew up. That's what I knew. Because my dad, I don't know if he listened to it for entertainment or he listened to it just so he can be aware or whatever. But that's what he did. And so that's what I did. So growing up, and when I became an adult, I listened to a lot of news. I listened to his channel, which is AM 950 Detroit. So I was always keenly aware of what was going on in the country or whatever. And so that was just the way I grew up. But anyway, fast forward, I was really disappointed in our last presidential election. Of course, things didn't go the way I had hoped they would go. And that happens. I mean, that's not the first time that's happened, where, the way things have become is not the way I would have preferred. But that's always been the American way. So I was really disappointed. And I guess more so disappointed is the people who voted the opposite direction in which I voted. In my opinion, they voted against their own interests. And unfortunately for them, those people, a lot of them don't even live in this country no more because they've been deported. But they voted for things to go this way. Even after many of us in the black community warned them, because we've been dealing with, opposition and things against our community for the last 400 years. So we kind of have a sense of what direction things are headed, and we try to not allow it to go that way. But then, there are those who, there are more people who think the other way than think the way that we think. So I was really disappointed. In the way things were going. But it's unfortunate that we live in a country that has extreme racism. I mean, racism is to the extreme. And I guess I never knew. I mean, I was always aware of racism. I mean, as a black person, you're aware of it all of your life. You grow up with it. You become conditioned to it. So that was nothing new. But I was just disappointed and somewhat surprised at how extreme it had become. And so I didn't know that there was a movement in this country to take this country the current direction that it has gone. And this movement been in place, from what I understand, or what I read or understand, since President Reagan was in office. There's been a movement to take this country in this direction. But I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised or quite disappointed. And it's sad. It's really sad, that we live in a country that is this divisive. I mean, I'm talking division to the power of 10. And it's unfortunate. We live in a country where government leaders have chosen, not to address important issues in our community and in our country. And one of the bigger ones is gun violence. I mean, you want to be able to send your children to school and expect them to come home after school to do their homework or whatever. But because of gun violence, unfortunately for a lot of people, they've sent children to school only to learn that their children they're gone. They've been shot up. They've been killed. And that's the biggest tragedy for a parent, to get the word that their child has been killed. That's terrible. But unfortunately, we live in that kind of reality. Or you can go to work and somebody come into the job and just do a mass shooting. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. But it's all because gun violence has become normal in this country, simply because the leaders in our government have chosen not to address it. They want to protect the Second Amendment, so they, instead of limiting it or put guardrails around it or put boundaries, they've chosen not to address it at all. So, we have gun violence every week in this country. And it is so sad. It is so sad. We live in a country, this country is social media influence. And so, unfortunately, a lot of people, when they read something in social media, they take it as gospel, so to speak. They take it as truth. And really, what's in social media is people's opinions, but a lot of people take it as truth. And unfortunately, a lot of people make life-changing decisions based on the stuff that they read in social media. And that's a tragedy. So, I don't know, this country is it's not perfect by any means. I mean, we grow up and we're told that this is the greatest country in the world, and we are the most powerful country in the world, and we are the most richest country in the world, and we are the most developed country in the world, and we grow up, being taught this, told this. Is that brainwash? Possibly. But this country is not what it's cracked up to be, in my opinion. Unfortunately, in this country, we are severely overtaxed. Severely. I mean, you pay taxes on so many different things on top of money that you've already been taxed on. And so this country, in my opinion, was founded on greed, based on the way it was built, the way they acquired the land, the way they kidnapped the ancestors from the motherland to build it. And then everything is overtaxed. And now the inflation is increased. It's families out here who are struggling, and I'm talking two income families, 2-income household. They're struggling to make it. It's terrible. The food prices are up, the gas prices are up, utility prices are up. And so there's people out here that's absolutely struggling to make it. And living paycheck to paycheck has become more and more commonplace in this country. So it's not good at all. So we grew up saying, strive to achieve the American dream. So what was the American dream? Well, the American dream was to go to school, get good grades, graduate and go to college, get your degree, go and get you a great career, and work that career for 30 years and retire. But while you work in that career, buy your house, own your own home, and then get you a good car. Then raise your family. And that's the American dream. Well, the American dream now, it don't exist for most people in this country. It might exist for the top 1% or maybe the top 5%, but for most people in this country, that dream don't exist. So it's sad. It's really sad. And a lot of people are chasing that dream. I mean, there are women, there are wives who are working 2 jobs, and there's husbands who are working 2 jobs, trying to make ends meet. And it's sad. It's sad. So there's people still trying to chase that American dream. And I look at the state of our country and the way things are and I guess if I was to put a title on this little video, I guess I would call it Disillusioned. Because things are not the way it seemed to be. It's not the way I thought it was, or I thought it should be. And it's sad. It's real sad. It's real sad. I mean, the way the state of this country has become, it's sad. And so I think about American dream, and our people, a lot of times, we've gone through our struggles. And then there are those in other races who would look at our community and say, well, pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. Well, I guess I would have to ask the question, what bootstraps? Now as a whole, as a race, our race have done well in terms of from slavery. We've achieved some success, but many times the bootstraps that we're told to pull ourselves up with is non-existent. And sometimes if it does exist, it's taken away. There are African American Black communities that have put themselves together in communities and all across this country, and they had their own corner stores and their own drug stores, their own pharmacies, their own hospitals. They had their own insurance company to the point where they did not need any outside help. But what happened? There are other races of people who didn't like it. They felt like the black community shouldn't be doing this well. So they decided to destroy it. And they destroyed it in many ways. Some of them, they confiscated the property in eminent domain and made and built freeways through it. And that happened all across the country. Then there are other situations where they physically destroyed it. They burnt it down. In the one particular community in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they bombed it. All because they felt like black America shouldn't be doing as well. So black America many times is told, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But when you're able to do that, it gets destroyed. Because there are those who feel like black America shouldn't do that. So I guess looking at the term American dream, the American dream. What is the American dream today? That's a good question. But I guess I will have to respond now. The American dream is to leave America. That's the American dream. So again, thanks for checking in on my channel. If you like my channel, if you like what I've done, my content, check out my library. I'm still a new channel. I'm still trying to get my bearings. I still struggle in my content creation. But if you like my channel, I ask you to give me some support and subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. I would like to grow, and if you subscribe to my channel, you will help my channel grow. Even if you didn't look at all my videos, just the fact that your name is on a subscription list, it helps my channel to grow. And that's what my goal is, to grow, to get better and put out better videos and more videos, and hopefully more often. My goal is always to be able to, well, I started out with my goal is to put it out every day, but that's really challenging. So if I can put out a video once a week, that'll be wonderful. But anyway, thanks for checking in. Subscribe to my channel and share my channel with somebody else. Give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate it. So you all take care, and hey, have a good day. Peace.